A very good morning to all students and welcome to my class Edufly J8. So, like today we are going to discuss about first phylum Porifera. Animal kingdom basis of classification were discussed in previous class. So, today we are going to discuss about phylum Porifera. So, these are the basic characteristics of the phylum Porifera. This I have shown a very beautiful diagram. Sponges. These are sponges. So basically the members of this phylum, that is phylum Porifera, they are known as sponges, very important for NEET point of view. Fine. Ostia and osculum, they allow entry of water is ostia and osculum is allow exit of water. Very important from NEET point of view because they always ask questions on ostia and osculum, where they are present, what's the function. Now let's see habit and habitat, where these organisms, the sponges, are found. They are marine asymmetrical animals. Asymmetrical animals is sponges and they are marine means समुद्र में पाए जाते हैं. Obviously ये जो है ना, अगर आपने कोई समुद्र विजिट किया है, मैराइन लाइफ देखा है उसका, तो ये स्पॉन्जेस आप देखेंगे बहुत ब्यूटीफुल ऑरेंज कलर, येलो कलर, बहुत सारे कलर वैरायटीज में होते हैं. ठीक है, दे आर मैराइन में रहते, आई मीन वाटर में, समुद्र में रहते हैं. बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स है ये. व्हाट दे डू इज साइंटिस्ट identify the DNA, waterborne DNA. This sponges helps scientists. The very important research is going on, and these these sponges helps the scientist to detect what? Waterborne DNA. Waterborne DNA. Fine. The scientists take the help of sponges. Why? To detect the waterborne DNA. Fine. So this is the, now let's see about habit and habitat. This was the basic information I have given you about Porifera. Now let's see about habit and habitat. See, they are marine asymmetrical animals. First is done. Second is, there is always an exception. I always tell you. Exception क्या है? Spongilla. Spongilla, they stay in fresh water. They won't stay in marine water. Fine. They are freshwater species. Next is the species, I mean the animals which belong to Porifera. They are multicellular and cellular level of organization. Like in basis of classification I have told you, they have cellular level of organization. Next is sponges evolved from colonial choanoflagellates. From where they have evolved? They have evolved from choanoflagellate. Fine. Next is, this is very important, I am telling you again and again. Their connecting link between Protozoa and Porifera is Proterospongia. Question always comes from here, so just keep it in mind. It's Proterospongia, Spongia. Fine. The sponges evolved from choanoflagellates. So these are basics about habit and habitat, where they are found and what's the connecting link. This is basic about Porifera. We'll get to know many things about Porifera today. So let's see next point. So now let's see about the body structure in case of sponges, that is Porifera. The body wall has two layers. One is pinacoderm and the other is choanoderm. Fine. So a jelly-like layer is present between these two layers, pinacoderm and choanoderm. That is nothing but mesenchyme. Mesenchyme is present between the two layers. The body cavity is very important question from NEET point of view. Body cavity is called spongocoel or paragastric cavity. Body cavity is called spongocoel or paragastric cavity. See, the pinacoderm, this has pinacocytes and choanoderm has choanocytes. Now what is choanocytes? They are called collared flagellated cells. It's very important from NEET point of view. The other name for choanocytes. What basically they do is they line the spongocoel. They line the spongocoel. Spongocoel is nothing but the body cavity. Choanocytes are like flagellated, present in the, that will line the spongocoel. Basically they are present here. See, I have shown you the diagram. This 1 2 3, this lining, this is nothing but what is this? Choanocytes. They line the base of the flagella, that is inner layer of the sponges, that is spongocoel, body cavity. Fine. So this is all about the body structure, what are the parts, and just remember this choanocytes, what they are called, collared flagellated cells. And what's the function of choanocytes? They line the spongocoel, that is the body cavity or the base of the flagella. So this is all about the body structure, and now we'll say about the different points in case of porifera. So now let's see about the gas exchange, how it occurs in case of porifera. See, they don't have tissues. I have told you earlier that they don't have tissues. They have cellular level of organization. No? They don't have tissues. So no tissues are present. But cell aggregate type of body plan is there. Cell aggregate type of gas exchange occurs through general body surface, because they have no specialized organ for respiratory system. So their gas exchange basically happens through general body surface, that is diffusion. I hope you all know diffusion. So they have no specialized respiratory system in case of porifera. It's very important because they may give the example like sponges, spongula, and they'll give the characteristics of porifera, whether they have respiratory system or not, or how the gas exchange occurs through general body surface, that is the diffusion. Fine. Next we'll go to excretory system. What happens there is that excretion will be also from general body surface, because they are not the more advanced form of organism. So excretory structures are also absent, respiratory structures are also absent, and excretory product is ammonia. This is very important, you see, because they ask questions on this in NEET. They don't ask direct questions, there will always be a twist in the question. They'll ask the question based on the examples. So I'm telling you again and again just to remember the examples from NEET point of view. So sponges, spongula, euspectula, I'll give all the examples in details. So this is about gas exchange and excretory system. So now let's see about food and feeding, how it happens in case of porifera. Basically this feed on microscopic food particles like bacteria, protozoans, etc. They'll feed on very small food particles, very small organisms. Digestion is intracellular, inside. Fine. Food is captured by flagella of choanocytes. I told you about choanocytes that line the spongocyst, that is the base of the flagella. So that will digest it partially. Food will be captured by flagella of choanocytes, but it can't digest it completely. Who will digest it completely? Trophocytes. Trophocytes are nothing but nourishing cells. It will digest the food completely in case of porifera. So partially digested food will go to the trophocytes, and they are nothing but nourishing cells, and that will help to digest it completely. Fine. So now let's see the next point. Skeletal system, how it's present. Skeletal system is made up of two, that is calcareous and siliceous. Calcareous is nothing but it is made up of calcium carbonate. What is calcium carbonate? And siliceous is made up of silica. Very easy. This is the skeletal system that is present in case of porifera. Fine. Now let's see nervous system. See, neurons are not present because they are not the advanced form of organisms, but they can sense to the external environment. They are sensitive to the external environment. Fine. Pinacocytes are contractile cells. So this pinacocytes, this is nothing but contractile cells, and that pinacocytes will help the sponges to increase or decrease the surface area of their body. That pinacocytes is very important, because you see, because they are contractile cells, question may come, and they increase or decrease the body surface of the sponges. Fine. So pinacocytes, function of pinacocytes, neurons are absent because they are not the advanced form of organisms, so neurons are absent. And about skeletal system, this calcareous and siliceous speakers, just remember that. So now let's see next point. So now let's see about the canal system. This is a very important characteristics in case of porifera, that is sponges. They have canal system, is very important. Canal system is present in which porifera, which kingdom? It's phylum Porifera. Fine. So what is the main function of canal system? How it happens? I am showing you in diagrammatic form. The sponges have water transport or canal system. This is a very important characteristic in case of porifera. I am telling you again and again. It is called aquiferous system because water canal है तो इसको aquiferous कहेंगे. ठीक है? Water, how it enters? The sponges has minute pores in the body. Fine. So the water will enters to the ostia. Ostia is nothing but the minute pores that is present in the body of the sponges. And then it enters to the spongocyst. What was spongocyst? It was the body cavity. Fine. The spongocyst, and then it enters to the osculum, and from the osculum the water comes out. Exit point is osculum and the entry point is ostia. First water will enters to the ostia, to the minute pores of the, by diffusion, the process is diffusion, and then it enters, go to the body cavity, and then From the osculum it will come out. This is the canal system, is very important in case of sponges. And what is the main functions of canal system? There are 4 functions which I have given you. Food gathering. How do they gather the food? This canal system will help them in order to take the food, how to take the food, how to really excrete. Everything happens through canal system. Respiratory system, respiratory exchange, body exchange, that is diffusion. Then removal of wastage, excretion, I told you. Excretion is also through the canal system, and respiratory is also through canal system. Next is reproduction. This is also a very important point. So this 4 point, canal system helps in this 4 functions. That is, this is the pathway by which canal system helps in case of sponges. So now let's see reproduction in case of sponges. So now let's see about the reproduction in case of sponges. See, sexes are not separate. That means hermaphrodite. They are called hermaphrodite because the male and female gametes is in the body of the same animal. That in that animal itself, male and female gametes. Fine. Male and female gamete, the body of that organism itself. So they are called hermaphrodite animals. Reproduction is by asexual and sexual. No need to go into details of the asexual and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is fragmentation, budding, branching and gamule formation. These 4 are the means of asexual reproduction, and sexual reproduction is by the formation of gametes. Details is not required for your classes for in case of porifera. So now let's see about the fertilization and development. Sexual reproduction is done in porifera. Now the topic is fertilization and development. How the fertilization take place in case of poriferas. The fertilization is internal. Fine. The flagella, how the sperm reaches to the ovary is that flagella choanocytes, I told you the functions of choanocytes, that captures sperm and passes it to the ovary, and the development takes place in developing it in mesenchyma. Fine. So since the fertilization is internal, so development will also be internal. So the development is internal, sorry, it's not internal, it's indirect, having a larval stages which is morphologically distinct from the adult. They have larval stages, but that is morphologically different from the adult stages. Fine. So these are the larval stages I have shown you: amphiblastula, then parenchyma, and then rhagon. These 3 are very important from NEET point of view. So because this kind of questions used to come in the exam, they'll ask about the larval stages. If you study all the kingdoms, and if you want like remember the terminology, then it's very difficult for you. So just whenever I'll teach you the each and every kingdom, you just remember the terminology which I'm giving you: amphiblastula, parenchyma and rhagon. Fine. And these are the examples of porifera. First is spongilla. Spongilla, the nickname is freshwater sponge. See, question may come which porifera's example freshwater sponge. Which porifera is known as a freshwater sponge? Then you have to write spongilla. So you have to know both the common name and the original name. Fine. This is the Euspongia. Euspongia is common bath sponge. Cycon is crown sponge or urn sponge. Next is Cliona. This is very important. This question always comes in the exam. Cliona is boring sponge. Next is Hyalonoma, glass rope sponge. Hyalonoma basically it produces sulfuric acid, H2SO4. Sulfuric acid. It produces sulfuric acid, and Hyalonoma is very dangerous for the marine life. Marine life that exists in the marine. So Hyalonoma is very dangerous because it produces sulfuric acid. Next is Euplectilla. Euplectilla is known as the Venus flower basket. Actually, this flower is given as a wedding gift in Japan. Wedding gift in Japan. So this flower is very important in case in Japan, because जब शादी होती है किसी की तो एक दूसरे को ये flower देते हैं as a gift. Euplectilla. Fine. This is known as the Venus flower basket. I am again telling you, just remember both the names which I am giving, which is in bracket also and which I have written. Hyalonoma is known as glass rope sponge. Hyalonoma, Cliona, Euplectilla is very important. Always used to come in the exam, and also this boring sponge, freshwater sponge. All those you have to see the examples. See, the euplectella is very important. Always they ask question, like they'll twist the question and ask wedding gift in Japan, which kingdom is there, which phylum. So you will say Porifera and euplectella. Fine. So remember all the terminologies and all the examples in case of Porifera, whatever I have taught you. So with this, I have completed the Porifera today, and now I'll start. I will start the next part, that is Coelenterata or Cnidarians. Fine. So next class we'll meet with Coelentratas. Today up to this we have completed the phylum Porifera. So thank you so much.